Hey everyone, Richard Robbins here. Well, the numbers are in for the Toronto Real Estate Board. I'm going to take you through them, but also at the end, I've added something a little new. I'm going to show you the property type breakdown of total sales. So what percentage were detached, what percentage were condos, and I'm also going to compare that not only to the whole Toronto Real Estate Board, but also to 416 and 905. So let's have a look here. So you can see we've now got January right through to the end of November. The end of November, we come in at 7,090 sales. How did that compare to the month before? We were 8,491. Our sales were down by 16.5%. Very normal. Our sales drop as we move into November as well as December. Let's look here. Active listings. You can see we're now at about 12,000 at the end of November. We were just over 15,000 at the end of October. You can see right here we're down by 22%. So what happened to our months of inventory? You can see what's going on is we're sitting at 1.8 months of inventory. That was in October, and we dropped to 1.7. So when I look at this months of inventory, you started the year at 3, which by the way is still a seller's market. 4 to 6 is balanced, above 6 is buyers, below 4 is seller's market. That means prices are probably strengthening. You've had a great year. Because look at our months of inventory, 2.6, 2.2, 2, 2, 2.2, 2.1, 2.1, 2.2. Now we're at 1.8 and 1.7. Like we're back into crazy market territory here, everybody. So the numbers are just absolutely amazing what's going on. Look at last year, we did 6,200 sales in November. This year we did almost 7,100. That's an increase of 14.2%. Like that's a big number. And look at our prices. We're up 7% year over year. November last year, 789. Now we're at 844. And this is why, if you look at this right here. So let's go back. This is your months of inventory, okay, for the whole year. We look at 2017. Market was crazy strong, right? We were at 1 month. Right, we went below 1 month, and then we started to climb. Foreign buyers tax, right? We started to climb. We got way up here over 3, and you can see what was going on. Ended at 2.7. Then we go to 2018, we started up here at 3, we had stress tests come in, we're going along, and you can see we're almost the same as the year before is where we ended up. We ended at 3. But look at this year, 2019. Yes, we started at 3, but right here we crossed the line, didn't we? And look at us now. Look at the gap between the past 2 years. You can see right now we're ending in November with 1.7 months of inventory, substantially stronger than the last 2 years. So I look at Toronto right now. If anybody's complaining about the market, believe me, there's nothing wrong with the market. You got a market with rising prices. You got a market with rising sales. Yes, we have lower inventory. You're probably getting multiple offers on many, if not almost all properties right now. So let's look at this. Here is your breakdown. So if we look at the whole Toronto Real Estate Board, 46% of the sales are detached, okay? We look over here, semi-detached 9.4, townhouses 16, and condo apartments is about 27%. Now remember this number, detached is 46. How does that compare, okay, as we move into the 416? Only 28% or 29% are detached. You see the whole market is 46. Why? Because it's so expensive to buy a detached in Toronto that more people are going to buy condos. Roughly 50% of the 416 market now is condominium apartment sales. Really interesting, right? Look at the average price here. Detached in the 416, your average price is $1.36 million. If I go back and look at detached of all of the Toronto Real Estate Board, it's $1 million. So you're $300,000 higher, okay, than the average by being in the 416. Pretty amazing stuff. Now what about the 905? You can see here we got 56% of the sales that take place in 905 are detached. Pretty high, right, compared to this. 29% 416, and look at this. 56%, almost 57% in the 905, and the condo apartments are only 12% opposed to 50% in the 416. Interesting stuff. Your average detached is 943, okay, opposed to 1.3 in 416. We look at your semi-detached is 700,000 opposed to what? $1 million in the 416. It's quite amazing, right? Townhouses, 634 in the 905, opposed to 763, and condo apartments, 509. Look at this. 659 in the 416. So the numbers are pretty interesting, right? So anyway, I thought I'd put that together for you so you can have a look at it. Now, moving into 2020, the first market update video I'm going to do, I'm going to go back and I'll look at the last 3 years, and I'm going to do the total sales. How many total sales took place in 2019 opposed to 2018 and 2017? And then I'm also going to be a breakdown of the average sale price of every property type for the last 3 years. Now, the reason I'm going to do that is I hope it's content that will not only help you understand the market, but will give you something that you can use when you're out there working with buyers and sellers. So anyway, everybody, remember, it's a beautiful life. Make it count.